remember the functions. Of course, we say that one of the function is they are similar to accountant ledger. They are used for on daily basis in organizations such as banks, education institutions, industries, and they are used to prepare things like budgets, checkbook registers, research data analysis, and tax reports. Yeah, also worksheet is created in much the same way as we use as we create tables. Okay, worksheet is created in much the same way as before, creating tables in MS Word by entering information in cells or intersecting of rows of columns and rows. So we also define what a cell is. When you hear of this word cell, a cell is an intersection of columns and rows. Okay, now for you to start your Excel, if you are to start Excel, you just click, you're supposed to click on the start button, and then start button on the left side of the screen. And then once you do that, move to all programs, and then you choose Microsoft Excel. So you just go to the start button, and then you open something like Microsoft Excel. Like mine is Windows 10, so it does not have all programs. It's a bit different. So just type Microsoft Excel there, and it will give me the, or I just type Excel. Excel is easier because just say Excel if you are opening Excel. So an Excel window has several parts. Once you open your Excel like mine here, and then you maximize, you see this one. This is Excel 2013, the version of my application. My Excel application is Excel 2013. But when you talk about when this one, the window here, which has been given here, is for an older version of Excel. If you can see it, this is very different from what you have on the screen there. This one was Excel 2000 and what? Excel 2000 and I think version for 2007 there, or 2010 there. Microsoft Excel, is it 2010? No, Office 207, because that versions have been changing. We have got different versions. Long time ago, we used to have this menu bar: file, edit, view, insert, format, tools, data, window. But now we no longer have this one. When we are in Excel, we talk about tabs. We talk about tabs, and we have home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, and all those things. So that is what has changed in this. But now you find that whatever is inside this cell is apart from the menu bar, the rest has remained the same. Like for example, we still have the scroll bars. Where are the scroll bars? They are here, these ones. Like for example, if you open your Excel, there is this bar here. This is for scrolling. Also, this one is for scrolling up and down, and I think I showed you that one in the previous lesson. And also we have, if for example you click on A1, cell A1, this selection here that you have, like for example, if I click on my cell A1, this black border around that cell is what we call the cell selection, or the cell pointer. And then of course we have this one here. You can see here we have A1. This I said is a name box. It gives us the name of the active cell. And I also said, if for example you are told to go to B15, you don't have to go to B15. You can just type B on the name box, and then you type 15. Once you press enter, you'll be taken to that cell there, B15. It's a name box. It's the name. It shows us the name of the active cell. Then also we have this one here. This is what we call the formula bar. Of course, if you're doing calculations, there is a bar that displays the formulas that you are using. This particular, or in my Excel, it's right here. So anything I type here This one is called FX, of course, formula bar. It displays all the formulas that we are working on. Then what else do we have? I think those are the main things. Then of course we have the sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. In our Excel, we only have one. So if you need to add more Excel sheets, you just click on this plus. Once you click on the plus, not adding. Mine is not responding. So once you click on the plus there, you can add different sheets. Okay, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. And of course, if you want to delete a sheet, you right click and then you choose delete. If you don't want that, you right click, then you choose delete. So that's how you add and delete a sheet. Then of course, these ones are called the scroll buttons. If you have different sheets, you can use these scroll buttons to move from one sheet to another. Then the status bar is here. Scroll iko hapo, split iko hapo. Split. Do we have split now? Currently we don't have the split. We only have the scroll bar that would enable us to move from one side. So Excel features, and let me just check here. Currently we don't have these ones here. The title bar. Title bar we have, of course, ndio hii iko hapa. It's usually at the top. It shows you the workbook, the name of the workbook that is currently you are currently using. Like for example, here we've got the name of a workbook that we are working on. We are working on book 1. That is the title bar. And of course, from there now you have got your different tabs. So menu bar, we said menu bar has been replaced by the tabs. So we ain't gonna look at that. Then formula bar, we have said it appears below the tools and includes the names. I've talked about that one. Worksheets, I have talked about it. Microsoft Excel consists of worksheets. Each worksheet contains columns and rows. The columns are A1 to 15. I don't know what that one means. The rows are numbered 1 to 65. Now this one is, it's not 65, 36, 536. I said if you want to go to the very last row, you just hold the control and the down arrow key, and then you'll be able to see the number of rows that you have. So parts of our worksheet, we've talked about that one. Scroll bars, they enable us to. This split bar we don't have it, we no longer have it in the current version of Excel. And also we've talked about rows, columns, headers. Identifies each column, each row, column, headers. Identifies each column, each row through column, and can be used to select the entire row through column by clicking on the header. Let's see this one practically. Like for example, this one, number 1 here is the name of the row, okay, of this first row. If I click on that number 1, I'll be able to select this. I will select that row from beginning to the end. Okay, if I click on this A here is the name of this column. So if I click on the A, it will select the entire row up to the entire column up to the bottom. If I click on this B, that one will select that entire column. If I click on C, C will select the entire column. If I click on D, D will select the entire column like that. So these ones, they are called the column name and the row names. The rows through column headers. They indicate the names of the rows and the columns. Then of course we have talked about the cell pointer. We've talked about the tabs, each worksheet. Okay, tabs we've talked about it. Scroll buttons we've talked. Status bar we've this one here. Status bar, where is it here? Iko up. Upper iko. Supposed to be here, ready. You see here, it's written ready. At the bottom of the screen, you see ready somewhere. That is the status bar for your Excel. And of course, it has got other buttons like the different views. You have normal. Currently, you are normal. If you click on page layout, it's supposed to change. Now we are on the status bar. Now it has changed. If we click on page break preview, that is the page break preview. So that is called the page layout. I want to go back to normal. Now this is what we call the status bar. At the bottom of the screen, the Excel application, you have the status bar, and it has several functions. Status bar, it appears at the very bottom of the screen, and it shows various messages as you use Excel. Notice the word ready on the status bar at the lower left side of the screen. It tells you that Excel is in ready mode and waiting for your next command. Other indicators appear on the status bar in the lower right corner of the screen. For example, we have numlock, and such. Of course, for us, we have these views here, the views. We don't have the numlocks and the likes. So now press the numlock several times and note how the indicator on the status bar changes. Now let's see whether it's going to work. Now when you're in your Excel and then you press, my numlock is not active. You see, okay. When you press on the, let me press it again once more. The status bar is not changing. For my case, still ready. Then you press it again. Yeah, so it's really not working. When I press the num key, okay, the status bar is not indicating it. But when you press the num key, what usually happens, the num key on the calculator, on the right corner of your keyboard, the num key deactivates the calculator. But when I press it, it's not, nothing is happening on the status bar. I thought something was going to appear on the status bar, but nothing is showing. Yeah, so I think it's okay. For this point, I can just get rid of it here. Yeah, this one is getting rid of those things that are not. So the next thing is the down arrow key and up arrow keys. So these ones, I talked about them in the previous lesson. We say that you can use the up arrow and down arrow keys to move the pointer in any direction. So any of the two directions. Press the down arrow key several times. So if you are in your Excel, you can use your down arrow keys to go down. You can use these keys to navigate through your screen. Then the right and the left arrow keys, those ones I talked about them. We also talked about the page down and the page up. The page down and the page down keys move the cursor up and down one page at a time. Press the page down key, note the cursor moves down one page. The same thing happens when you press page up. So if you're using a PC like me, you have the two keys. If you have a keyboard, you have the two keys there on the keyboard, page up and page down. So if you press page down, what happens? It moves you one page below. So like for example, the first page here started 25, the second page. So if I press page down, we're going to go to 24, which is our second page. If I press the page down again, it's going to take me to 47. Let's see. So you see, we go to the next page, which is 47. If I press page down again, it's going to take us to page 70, which is the next page. If I press again, it's going to take me to row 93, which is our next page. So that is the row of the page down. If we press the page down again, it's 116. That's another page. If I press the up arrow key, it will move one page up until you get to the very first row. So that is the purpose of the page up and the page down. The page up and the page down keys move the cursor up and down one page at a time. Press the page down key note that the cursor moves down one page. The same thing happens when you press page up. Then the end keys. These keys, you rarely use them. The end keys is used in conjunction with arrow keys, and it causes the cursor to move to the far end of the spreadsheet in the direction of the arrow. So let's try and use the end key on the keyboard. So if you are using a PC like mine, and you have a keyboard, you're likely to see that key, and some laptops don't have these keys. It's okay. You just practice this when you come back to school, because that time you'll be using a computer. So if you hold the end key and you press the right arrow key, it will take you to the very end of the document, or of the row, the last row. So if you press again on the end key and then you press on the left arrow key, that one will take you to the very first row in that sheet. If you press end key and then the down arrow key, it will take you to the very last row in that sheet. Okay, so the end key is very important when you want to navigate. When you want to navigate through your screen, end key is used in conjunction with the arrow keys, and it causes the cursor to move to the far end of the spreadsheet in the direction of the arrow. Press the end key. That end appears on the status in the lower corner of the screen. So let's see what that is. So for example, if you press on the end, you'll see on the status bar, you have this word end mode. Okay, when you press on the end key on the keyboard, you'll see on the status bar end mode. So if I press the down arrow key, it takes me to the very last. So if I press the end key once, and then I press the up arrow key, that one will take me to the very first cell. So that is how we work with that. So the end key is used to scroll up and down, left to right. So note that the cursor moves to the farthest right area of the screen. The same thing happens when you press the left, up and down arrow keys. So if you have entered data into a worksheet, the end key moves you to the end of the data. Like for example, let's say we have some values. In the previous lesson, I showed you how to autofill. Like for example, January. If you type January on the very first cell, that is cell A1, I showed you how to autofill, and we talked about you click on that. So you're going to autofill. You go to this button here, this corner. There's that particular button. If you point at it, your mouse pointer will change to a plus. Okay. So from there, you can drag out. When your mouse pointer changes, like mine here, and then you drag out, you see your month will be repeated. Now, if you press the end key, okay, well now you're in the first cell, that is January, and you want to go to this very last data. Let's say the data the very last item is at the far end, and then you press the end key, and then you press that arrow key. Oh, sorry. So January, let me click on January, press end key, and then you press the right arrow key. It will take me to the very last item of data in that sheet. I hope you've seen that. So you have January. If you click January, let's say we have like that, I continue dragging, I continue dragging, continuously, I'm autofilling. So we have gone, so we have so many months. You can go back. There are so many. So I'm going back to the very first cell. Now I'm using one key, which is the right arrow key. Now if I want to go to the very last data on the right, we just press the end key, and then you press the right arrow key. It will take you to the very last month. So that is the purpose of the end key. so you can undo. So I hope you've practiced that, what I've shown you. Your how the end key works. Is there any question on the page down? You have understood how it works. You have understood how the page down works, and the arrow keys. Is there some concept that you have not understood? Okay, so far I think everybody is okay with the end key, and also the page up and the page down, and the left, the right, and the left arrow keys. So now we go to the next one. Okay, if you have entered data in the worksheet, the end key moves you to the end of the data. That one you've seen. So now we are in another one, another key called it's called the home key. The home key, used in conjunction with the end key, moves you to cell A1 or to the beginning of the data area if you have entered data. Okay, like for example, now where I am, if I press the M, so like for example, we are here. You've scrolled using the end key, the page down. You have scrolled using the page down. You are just pressing the page down. Then you realize I want to go back to the very last, the very first cell. You just press home. Home, it will take you to the very first cell. Okay, so that is how it works. Page down, page down, page down, and then you press home. Why is it not working? Nakataa kunipeleka nyumbani. It's not. So let's look at it again. So home key is used in conjunction with the end key. So you're supposed to use it with the end key, home and end. Yeah, home and end. Home and end. Home. Okay. So let's say, for example, January is not there. Okay, now we scroll down using the page down. Then you click on the end, and then the end key, and then you press home. It will take you, I don't know why it's taking me to the second cell instead of the first cell. I don't know why it's doing that. So let me go down. End key and home key, taking me on row 2 instead of row 1. So I think now that is okay. Move to your cursor to column J. Okay, so move your cursor to column J, stay in the column J, and move the cursor to row 20. So I want everybody to go to J20. So go to J20 of your Excel. So J20, you're going to J, and then you're going to look for 20. Where is 20? 20 is here. So J20, or you can type on the name box You type J20. Okay, then once you move there, you're going to do what? Press the end key and press home key. You should now be inside. So do that. First of all, you are pressing the end key and the home key. So that one will take you to the very first cell. That is cell A1. But for me, I don't know why it's taking me to cell A2. That's a mystery that is yet to be solved. That needs to be solved. So we are done with that. We are done with the home key, how it works. Then also we have another key here. It's called the scroll lock. Scroll lock moves the window, but not. Do you have that key? Now, if you're using a laptop, some of these keys you may not be having them. Or if you are using an advanced phone that has got Excel, you know, there are some people who have got these tablets, they have iPads, and these iPads have got Excel installed. Some of these keys may not be there. They are called on-screen keyboards. The on-screen keyboard may not have. Let me show you my on-screen keyboard. If I activate my on-screen keyboard, does it have these keys? Let me see. Okay, it has. The on-screen keyboard, it has home, end, page down, page up. We have pause here, scroll lock, print, screen, nav, move up, move down. We also have the keys. Mine has. I don't know about yours. These are the on-screen keyboard. So I think even some laptops do have, but if you have a very tiny laptop, there is a possibility it does not have some keys. So now we're looking at the scroll lock. So scroll lock moves the window, but not the cell pointer. Okay, press the page down key, press the scroll lock. Node scroll appears on the status bar in the lower right corner of the screen. Press up key several times. So let's try and work with the scroll lock. These ones. So for this one, press the page down key. So we are on Excel. So press the page down key and then press the scroll lock. Let me just go up, page up, page up. So after that, just a minute. Okay, it's okay. So you are supposed to press the page down and then scroll lock. You see on the status bar, you see now the scroll lock is there. Scroll lock imejieka for status bar. Ready, scroll lock. So from there, what else are you supposed to do when the scroll lock is on? Press the up arrow key several times. Okay. So press the up arrow key. So do you see? Press the up arrow key. What is happening? You are moving up the document, but what is happening? Your cell, the cell selection is not going up with you, like it does normally. Inaachwa nyuma, si ndio? Instead of, yeah. So that is the purpose. So it will just scroll the page, but not the cursor. Previously, the cell selection, the cell selector, this one, the cell selector was scrolling with us. If I use the down arrow key, it was the one moving, but now it's not the one. We're just scrolling the page through the page, yeah, and that is the purpose of the scroll lock. Note that the cursor stays in the same position, and the window moves downwards or upwards depending on where you are. Press scroll lock to turn the scroll lock function off. So if you want to you want to turn it off, you want to turn off the scroll lock, you just press the scroll lock, and then from there you'll be able to use the cursor will now help you to begin to start moving. So if you want to lock, you just press on scroll lock, and then from there you see, of course, this one is not going to work. If you forget to press the end key, itaweza kumove. So for you to use the scroll lock, there's a procedure. First of all, you move downwards. You can use you can move down once several times. Once you move down once, what else are you going to do? You press the end key and then you press the scroll lock. So from there, it's not still working. Okay, so just a minute. So page down, scroll up, just a minute. So the first thing you do, you go to use your page down. Once you use your page down, what else are you going to do to activate the scroll lock? Okay, press the page down key, then press the scroll lock. So after you do that, you press the scroll lock, and then the scroll lock will be active. Okay, then press the up arrow key. So that one now, if you move up, so that one. So let's try another method. I'm expecting that there are 7. So let's, like, I just scroll down and I click, then I press my scroll lock, and then I move up. You see, so itakuwa I'll just be moving, but the cursor will not be moving. So anywhere you click, so if you want to turn off the scroll lock, you press the scroll lock, the status bar itapotea, itaacha kuonyesha scroll lock, itaacha kuonyesha. So that is the purpose of the scroll lock. Yeah, so scroll lock is used to lock. It is used to make sure that the cursor is not scrolling. So you scroll. Now you want to scroll lock this one. You want to scroll lock from 20. So cell A20. So just press scroll lock, and then from there now, your cursor itakaa hapo kwa A20, haitakuwa ina move. So now you can continue scrolling down. Yeah, like that. So if you want to turn it off, you just press the scroll lock and then you're okay. So that is what we call the scroll lock. Some of these keys, they are only active in Excel. Yeah. Lesson 2. Now, file management. This lesson deals with creating a workbook, saving and opening an existing one. So let's see how it works. Creating a new workbook. How do you create a workbook? It's very easy. So you just open, like for example, we have already opened a workbook called book 1, and now we are in cell, we are in sheet 1. Okay, that is now how you open a new workbook. Okay, now we're going to enter some data. Let's see. We're going to enter some data. This data here. I want you to enter this data. I hope you can see it on my screen. This is what you're going to type now on our. So utaenda kwa hapa for your, then you type January, Jan, because that's what we. So Jan. What else is there in that? You also have Feb, March, April, May, June. So you type that, or you can remember autofill up to June, and then from there, what else do you do? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, up to Saturday. So you remember I also showed you that one can also work Monday. So you autofill also for that up to Saturday. You see that one? Then also, what else do you need? You need now to type 30. For that one you cannot autofill, lazima utatype individually. So like for example, you type 30, 40, you cannot autofill this one, you have to type those figures, not unless the figures are similar, like you need 30, 30, 30, 30, like you need 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, you see. But now because we are working with different values, that's why I'm saying you have to type April is 89. So I go back and type 89. Okay, what else? May is what? So like that, that's what I want you to do. Yeah, so type these figures in the next few minutes. Let me share my screen afresh. So there I have shared. type those figures very quickly. We see what else we can do, how we can save. So once you're done typing, the figures, you can confirm on the chat section that you're done typing. You can confirm whether you're done typing. I can see most of us are done with that, and it's okay. Now, once you're done typing, this is what you're supposed to do. Cursor movement keys. Cursor movement keys. I've already shown you the tab key. Okay. Shift plus the tab. Okay, this is good. We need to do all these ones. Tab key, the arrow key. So, like for example, let me share my screen afresh. Let me share my screen again so that you can see what I'm doing. Right. So we have, if you press the tab and the right arrow key, what will happen? Activate the cell on the right. But now this one has the tab key and the right arrow key. So this is to press them. No, I don't think there's a need for us to use this one. So this one is just keep this one. Now let's go to saving a workbook. Once you've created the workbook, you need to save it permanently. The process of saving and opening file in Microsoft Office package is similar. So you click on File, Save As, and then select a folder and save your work. Enter the name, the file name of the file name text box, and then click Save. So I want you to save your work. So if you are going to save it, you're just going to click on File, Save As, and then let's say, for example, you go to the folder, your class folder. Mine is on the desktop. And then you go to the online class. And then you go to computer application. That's where my menu is. And of course, you can give it a name. So give it a name of your choice. For me, I'm creating a folder first. So saving in Microsoft Excel is the same as saving in Microsoft Word. You open the folder, give it a name. So once you click on save, you can see on the title bar, the name of your workbook has changed. On the title bar at the top, you realize that the name of your workbook has changed. Now opening an existing. Now if you want to open an existing file, it's the same process. But now because you don't have any, you just go to File, Open, and then you have all your Excel files there. So you can choose any, or you can just click on Open, and then you say Computer, and then from there you'll be able to choose a folder. Like for example, if I go to desktop, and then I go to that, folder, I open that, and then I look for PCP 2014, then I go to PXL, and then from there I click on 5-year projection. I'll be able to open that file. So that's how you open an existing file, like the way I've done there. Don't save. So that's how you open any other. Let me see whether there is any other. Lesson 3. Okay, editing of course is very easy. Editing is very easy. You really need to. So that's how you enter data into your Excel. That's how you save data in your Excel. Do you have any question? Now, before I call it a class, we'll be doing some few things. I want to show you how you can do some simple calculations. So just give me time to type some figures in this. So I'll just type any figures for my figures. So that we can do calculations, some basic calculations. As we said, Excel is all about calculations. It has to do with calculations. We'll be doing a lot of calculations. So if you hate mathematics, Excel may not go very well with you. That is a fact. Mathematics, you are not going to, you will not escape. So there it is. Right. But the good thing is that you are working with a machine, so you don't have to worry a lot. You're not working manually. You just need to know the functions. So once you have your figures, like I have mine here, let's say for example, you want to find the total. So you're just going to go to cell G1. Go to cell G1, type total, and then once you type total, now we're going to find the total for the first Monday of the 6th month. How much money have they made in Monday of Feb, in Monday of course, these ones are not, these one can be names of, this is just an example. You can even have names of people. Names Jackson, Janet, Cynthia, who else was for, you have who else? Ali. So you can have them here. So the total, how do you find the total? Okay. Of course, this one, there are so many ways of finding the total. So you start by writing equals. So you just put an equal sign, and then are you going to say 30 plus 40? That is another method. That's another way. Like somebody can say 30 plus, of which that is not what I want us to do. Once you press equals, you just click on the cell. Like for example, that cell D2, where that is, and then once you click on it, you press the plus key, plus, and then you click on that other cell, that is C2, plus CD, is that CD, D2, yeah, D2. Then you press plus, you click on E2, plus F2. So you are done with that. You press enter, it gives you the total. That is method 1. So it's equals to, you click on that plus, is equals to, equals is, you press the enter key on the keyboard. It will give you the total. Equals 76 plus 67 plus 23 plus 56. So 56 is in cell E4 plus. Then you press enter, it gives you the total. So equal sign, you click plus, press enter, gives you the total. Find the total for the next one, equal sign, plus, press enter, equal again, plus. Of course, this is manual. There is an automatic way of doing this. Yeah. So once you're done with that, you press enter. This one has error. We found some typo in your formula, and you try to correct it. So they are actually correcting it for me. So I say yes. They have done it. They have corrected for me. So that's how you find the total